Hey everybody, good morning. This is Teresa Grobecker here, and I'm sitting with Todd Holland. Todd has done some amazing things for real estate agents and loan originators. And one of the things that he did that I'm most impressed with is he took a brand new LO from zero to over 300,000 in 1 year. And I really want to know how you did this so that we can share this with other agents and loan originators. So I'm going to hand it over to Todd. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Teresa, thanks so much for the introduction. I think it's a really exciting thing to be talking about here, how we can be leveraging social media, not as a supplement to what we're doing, not as a way to make it a little more exciting, get 1 or 2 extra deals a year, but really hone in on it as a primary lead generation source. It's really becoming that with the right strategy in place, you can do that. So just about this person, he had no background in real estate, or loans. He's a mortgage originator, he's not a real estate agent, same product. He had no background in the industry whatsoever. He was a car salesman. Who's just very good at sales, very good on the phone, very good with people. It's important characteristics for any kind of a sales position. He came into this with almost no understanding of social media whatsoever. So he came into this realizing that he had to do stuff on Facebook, not knowing exactly what that means, not really knowing what Facebook was more than just Instagram, which they're not the same thing. I had to explain that to him too, because he's great on Instagram. But the idea was he followed a regimen. Right? Every morning, I sent him an email at 6 o'clock in the morning saying, do these 5 things throughout your day. Go into these groups that I tell you where to find these groups, post a certain thing. So I laid it out for him very, very, in itemized fashion. Go to these groups, post these certain things, get people to engage with you, add them to your friends, segment out your friends list, and then add these people to a group, because little do most agents know the strongest drip campaign is not in your CRM. It's not in MailChimp or Insight. It's not going to be emails. I mean, look, emails have an 86% non-open rate, which means you send 100 emails, only 14 of those things get opened from the beginning, let alone how good they are, what have you. And then from there, you've got people who are receiving, I receive probably like 800 emails a day. That's not an exaggeration. People probably feel the same thing. You're going to get lost in the wayside. People go to social media to escape from the other kinds of digital marketing things that they're not enjoying, not on the positive end of. So the idea is you get these people, interact with them, get them excited to talk to you, put them in social media groups. You can build groups on Facebook now specific to what you like a Peninsula home buying group, a East Bay home buying group. You can do these things. Put your clients in there. Every single day, post something in there. If you don't have time, do it. Talk to your lender, a lender who's good at this. By the way, we're fantastic at this. Go in there, talk about these amazing things that, hey, did you know you can buy a home with no down payment, with down payment system? Did you know that credit score is no longer a prohibiting factor? Did you know? And we go into these different things, and as they apply to other people, get them to have the conversation. Your loan officer, get them pre-approved and send them back to you excited, ready to go, so you can go in there and just close them. Get on the phone with them, say, hey, let's go set an appointment and go look at some houses, because you've got the pre-approval taken care of. You've got the top of mind issue taken care of, because while 100 agents are going to be sending these people emails, I doubt very many of them are actually creating an entire group experience community around their needs. So you come in with a really benevolent scope on what you do in that way. And I always focus on this because I'm a professional lead generator. I feel like I can say this like with some degree of certainty. Don't worry about generating more leads. The number of leads you generate and the cost that you absorb with generating those leads is irrelevant to your success in business. I can send you 2 million leads, and if you don't sell a single one of those people a home, then you've made 0 money off the leads. So don't think leads are immediate pipeline into success. It's more to the idea that the lead is an opportunity for you to express your value, express your difference. In real estate and in loans and anything like this, you're paid 100% correlated to your own creativity as an agent, as a marketer. If you do the same thing the guy next door does, you're going to see less results in him because he got there first. He's known for that. If you're known as the agent who has this amazing social media presence, where people go to run away from everything else, they can come to you, and you're supportive, you're not salesy, all these things that make you as an agent, the person literally watching this video right now, the things that make you great, that is exactly what you're going to focus on, and you're going to magnetize people who fall under your umbrella of skills, of mental components, the way you do things, the way that you are, your morals, your values, what you believe in. You're going to attract more people like you. Here's the thing. Last thing, I know, Sheree, a very long answer, very short question. I apologize. You are not going to get every single person who's willing to buy a home to work with you. That's not the way it works. You get the lowest hanging fruit on your tree. So for me, I'm an internet nerd. right? I'm proud of this. So the people who I do the most business with are other people who see the value in hanging out with the internet nerds. Some people here are really, really good in terms of analytics, analysis for investors. Some people are even just in less of an occupational sense. They just like to sail, they like to golf, they like to play sports, guitar. You can bring more people like you to your table without actually going out and searching for them. And that's the beauty, and that's I think the power of this marketing method that we're talking about here, which is the stuff that we teach here at GHI. We teach our loan officers this to help our agents get better. We also teach our agents this to get better themselves, because even, regardless of how long you've been doing this, or how many generations back your real estate career goes, that's great. But if someone who has no background in real estate can come into a loan officer position, which is even harder than, a lot of the things that you'd probably consider a loan officer does, coming in brand new, is next to impossible with no real estate background. If he can come in here, crush it, make $300,000 in gross commissions off the deals he does in his first year, why can't you? That's all I'll say about that. So I'm going to hand it back over to Teresa, who's probably going to chide me for talking so long. Here you are.
Thank you for not long enough, I would say. Thank you so much for sharing that. So what would you say, what are some of the topics that he's posting into these groups so that he doesn't come across super salesy? Because I know I struggle with that. Like, at what point am I crossing that border between being a friend or overselling someone my services? So tell me, what's the content look like for him?
That's a great question. I think a great segue into some of the stuff we offer, because we actually provide a full list of all the content line by line that we recommend people post. But as a general sense, people who watch this thing, they don't have access to this now. They're debating whether they should sign up for this and get this information. The content that you provide is always from contribution. So you'll never ask, like, who here wants to buy or sell a home? You're never going to go and post your listings into 1,000 different groups hoping that one buyer is going to come in and buy your home off the. No, I'm sorry to tell you that's, as someone who Facebooks for a professional living, that's not how Facebook works or how people work, frankly. What you can do is tap into people's need to respond to something, to get more information for things. So it's much more powerful to say, what is the #1 thing stopping you from buying a home this year? And leaving it open-ended, because then people will answer that. They'll say, well, my credit, well, it's my, it's my income. I just switched jobs, things like that. If it's their credit, believe me, that's fixable. Don't never discount a client because their credit's bad, because the majority of people are in a position where within a certain amount of time that you don't have to spend money and time fixing their credit. The credit repair guy does this. You send them to someone who does credit repair, get them back on track. You're the savior. Do you think that if just because someone who opts into a funnel for you based on this whole thing, you say, like, what's stopping them from buying a home? If they never bought a home before, and if they're in a situation where their income prevents them from doing so, of course, you're going to probably have a hard time getting this particular person to buy a home. But if you provide a good experience for this person, if you provide answers to all their questions, you don't think this guy worked for somebody with a $2 million home? Or know somebody who knows a doctor who has a very expensive home, or who's buying or selling? Your greatest advocates are not the people who you've done business with, but the people who you've gently let down the fact that, hey, it's not going to work right now, but please keep me in mind. People don't necessarily care that we're realtors loan. I'm very controversial, I apologize, but they don't necessarily care too much about what we do until they need us. We're a means to an end. We're the drill, they want the hole, they want the home, right? We're just the thing that makes the hole. So the idea there is, after you've done business with the person, they're likely just to forget you unless you work really, really hard to stay top of mind. That being said, even if you can't do business for somebody and you still remain someone who's there, answer questions, because it's social media. It takes 2 seconds out of your day to answer somebody's question. It's not time prohibitive. There's no barrier to doing this. And if you do that, you're going to consistently see these returns from people. Not just, hey, I'm back and I'm ready to go, but hey, my nephew or my aunt or my boss is looking to do this thing. Can you speak to them and let them know what's going on? And that's, to me, that's why it's so hard to put an ROI on social media marketing. Because, on your first bat, it could be like, okay, 0. And you see 0, so you give up. If you don't give up and you farm those people and you focus and you really drill down on adding value and being continuously a contributor in their community and their life, then yeah, you might bat in a 0 for the group of people you brought in, but each one of those people knows at least 20 people. All you need is 5% of that audience to buy a house, and you've got 1 sale per person you've helped. Think of it like that. Think of it as a numbers game, and it's going to work. Answer your question. It's all things like that. It's all things that will get people to respond in a way that will allow you to continue adding value. What's stopping you from buying a home? What do you think the minimum credit score is to buy a home nowadays? How much income do you think you have to buy $400,000 home or $800,000 home? Ask these questions. People who respond, reach out to them, send them a message, say, hey, just letting you know, this is, thank you for responding. This is some cool information. I know you said you think the minimum down payment's 20%. Here's a cool program that shows it's only 3% kind of a thing.
Oh,
Leave it in their court.
Yeah, not enough people know about those little nuances of our craft, our trade. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, that's really it at the end of the day, is just, add value, be a contributor. There's a term that I don't like. I don't like the term, but I like what it means. It's called commission breath, where it's like everything you say, it sounds like you're just trying to make a sale. Don't walk around Facebook with commission breath. People can smell that from their computers. Like, come in with, I'm sorry, but coming from a place where it's like, listen, I'm comfortable with the amount of deals I'm doing right now. You appear confident because you're not trying to, be very thirsty and garner a sale. And be a contributor, be a supporter, and social media is the absolute best place that anyone has ever created up until right now to target those people, bring them into your tribe, and be extremely valuable.
That's awesome. Todd, thank you so much for giving us all this insight today. I really appreciate it. If everyone out there has had some value or taken something away from this conversation, we would love to keep the conversation going with you. Sign up with us so that you can get on our weekly calls so that we can talk about sales strategies.
Absolutely. Teresa, thanks so much for your time as well. Everyone out in cyberspace, thank you for watching. Have an amazing day and go crush it today. Take care.